Rash challenge, he just sort of stuck that leg out, and right at the end of Rodri's toe, he's limping badly. Be a concern again for Pep Guardiola. We'll have to see how that goes, but it can be really sore on the top of your foot.
Here is Mateus, holds off the challenge of Aurier, snapping away at his heels. Guardiola then goes all the way back to Edison. Another goal at Rotherham, Katie Smith.
And it's an equaliser for the league leaders. Preston is Rotherham 1, Preston 1. Corner from the right-hand side, headed in close range. Liam Lindsay, 1-1.
Cut out by Niakate before Haaland could get onto that ball as he was sent away on the left-hand side. Forest now get it with Sangare. I think he'll be a good signing, Sangare. They got him from PSV Eindhoven. As Aurier chips the ball forward, looking towards Montiel, headed away by Guardiola. And he plays it forward now to Doku. And Doku tries to wriggle free, and then he was side down by Montiel. Referee must have said he got the ball because Forest have it again. Sangare, forward ball, played in towards Gibbs-White, miscontrols it, right-hand side of the penalty area, just when it was starting to open up maybe for them.
Yeah, a couple of good passes. Etihad not happy with a few decisions. Pep Guardiola doing a little shape as if to say, was he strong enough? But that's one player who makes Forest tick for me, Morgan Gibbs-White. We haven't really seen him get into some good positions. He gets away there. His touch was a little bit big for him as he gets caught out.
Going to be a throw to Nottingham Forest, still trailing by 2-0 here at the Etihad. It's level with the penalty area. It's a long one that's headed away well by Ruben Dias, flicked away by Alvarez. Another goal at Plymouth, John Akers.
And it's another goal for the home side. They're tearing Norwich apart. Plymouth 3, Norwich 0. Morgan Whittaker with his second, left foot, bent it past the keeper. Argyle 3, Norwich 0.
Offside against Gibbs-White. That'll be a free kick to Manchester City, as we've been playing for almost 4 minutes of the 5 minutes that have been added on. To Fratton Park, Portsmouth, Lincoln City, Mike Williams.
And the league leaders have come from behind to lead here as we head into the break. Ian, it's defender Regan Poole up from the back, got his head on a swirling, looping high ball to divert it past Jensen in the Lincoln goal. It's the leaders who lead. They lead Lincoln by 2-1.
Edison's clearance from under pressure finds Foden. Foden keeps hold of the ball.
Does he mean that? Oh, we're going to, is it just because it's Edison? Because if he did, I'm not sure he did because he was with his right foot. But if he did, it was a sensational ball.
Well, it looked like under pressure that he'd just found Foden, didn't it?
It's hard to say that against Edison, mate.
With his distribution. Here is Akanji. Certainly Foden, the way that he reacted to it, helped him out. Here is Foden once again on the ball. When he scores, by the way, and he's already scored in this 2-0 lead that they have, Manchester City have an excellent record. So they've won 50, drawn 3, and lost 2 of games where he scored before. But they've given the ball away now. Here is Iwanyi. Iwanyi miscontrols the ball, but Ruben Dias, I was going to say, concedes a corner as Edison came off his goal line. But there was Guardiola. Just getting little glimpses of the City goal, aren't they?
Yeah, they're getting some openings. There's that late tackle. No, not sure he's going to go with it. But yeah, the openings were coming. One, you just maybe overcomplicating him. He just wants to keep it on side, try and get his shot away. A great reaction by the City defence, but Doku turned so quickly. Late challenge on his back foot. And there it is. Been a real positive first half, a great start for City, wasn't it?
Certainly was. 2 goals up inside 14 minutes, with Walker combining with Foden to fire them ahead after 7 minutes, and then Mateus with a chip, and Haaland's header made it 2-0. Michael Brown.
Yeah, it was all about the quality, something that worked on, the switches of play, diagonal pass, Walker just gets in behind. He could have possibly took it on, but he just sets it back. Oncoming Phil Foden, wonderful strike into the near post. Had several chances, a tiny touch of pressure on the shoulders of Erling Haaland because he's missed a few chances over the last couple of games. And Matheus Nunes gets to the byline, well worked from City, just stands it up. There's Haaland. A simple header, do what he does best, and from then on City have controlled it, although Forest have showed a little bit of desire later on in the first half.
That's Michael Brown, and I can tell you that Gillingham, the League Two leaders, have just equalised on the stroke of half-time at Doncaster. Doncaster 1, Gillingham 1, but the only side in England's top 4 divisions with a 100% winning record are looking to make it 6 out of 6, and they're halfway there, because at half-time at the Etihad, it's Manchester City 2, Nottingham Forest 0.
Harry Kane's just got his second of the afternoon for Bayern Munich from the penalty spot. They've hit 5 this afternoon, have Bayern. Now, during the week, Plymouth shipped 4 at Bristol City. What a difference a few days makes. John Akers.
And this afternoon they'd scored 4 in the first half. Plymouth 4, Norwich 0. They have torn Norwich apart. The latest goal, Finazaz, on loan from Villa, dancing feet, left foot strike into the corner. What a difference a few days can make. Plymouth 4, Norwich 0.
Let's go into the Premier League. So City are 2-0 up on Nottingham Forest at the break. Goalless at Kenilworth Road, but what an opportunity for Luton. John Southall.
Absolutely, they will not get a better opportunity than this. Luton 0, Wolves 0. They've been on top against 11 men now. They've got 45 minutes against 10. A nonsensical sending off from Jean Rickner, Bellegarde. Tom Lockyer and Bellegarde went into a challenge, both on the ground. The Frenchman then just kicked out, studs up into Lockyer, and off he went. Gary O'Neill will be livid with that. Luton have been the better side. They've come the closest to scoring. Carlton Morris on the edge of the D, curling effort off the inside of the right post. 8 shots, 1 on target. Wolves yet to register a shot in the half, and they become the second Premier League side to do that so far this season. As you say, they will not get a better opportunity to register their first Premier League win. Half-time, Luton 0, Wolves 0.
Goalless at Selhurst Park as well. I'm told you're loving this one, Maz Faruqi.
What awful 45 minutes of football this is. Palace 0, Fulham 0. Good luck to whoever's doing the Match of the Day edit on this one tonight. It's been dreadful. The best chance by some distance, a strike from the right at pace as he ran onto the ball 6 yards out from Raul Jimenez, but Johnston in the Palace goal was quick to block it out for a corner. Palace are just so ponderous at times. It's like they're playing through treacle, as they almost creating something to get excited about before half-time, but his shot from the deep, flash wide of the right post. It is very 0-0 between Palace and Fulham.
Great first half for Altrincham. They've just got a 4th in the National League, and the lead Ebbsfleet by 4 goals to 1. Into the Championship, leaders Preston at Rotherham. Katie Smith.
Yeah, Rotherham 1, Preston 1. Game came alive after the half-hour mark when Jordan Hugill put struggling Rotherham in front. Lovely curling effort from the edge of the box. 10 minutes later, though, Preston drew themselves level. Lindsay with the close-range header off a corner. Preston should have scored off that move a few times before. Johansson's been impressive in the Rotherham goal today, though. Preston came from behind midweek to take the win. They're going to have to do that again today. They're looking for 7 wins in a row. 1-1 here at half-time.
Half-time whistle has gone at Home Park, and Plymouth lead Norwich by 4 goals to 0. At the break, no goals at Leicester. Pat Murphy.
Leicester 0, Bristol City 0. Nigel Pearson, who's on crutches to help to rest his bad back in the dugout, will be happy with the game plan. But Leicester, all the possession really, all the approach work, good passing, etc., but the final pass lets them down. Mavididi, classic example, clear down the left, Vardy lurking in the penalty area, the cross goes straight to a Bristol City defender, and they nearly nicked the goal in a defensive scramble in Leicester's 6-yard area near the break. Leicester 0, Bristol City 0.
Ipswich's good form continues. Aaron.
Yeah, Ipswich 3, Blackburn 1. A brilliant first half for the hosts, who became machine-like as the half grew. Harry Clark broke the deadlock 4 minutes in with a drilled shot from just outside the area that whistled high into the net. Blackburn equalised minutes later, though, through debutant Arnold Sigurdsson. Really classy finish from him from close range, but then the home side kicked into gear. Nathan Broadhead drilling home from long range after being given too much time to control the ball and set himself. George Hurst made it 3, sprinting through the defence and putting the ball through the legs of the goalkeeper. Clark and Broadhead could have had more, with Ipswich playing with a real swagger. The town faithful very satisfied with their side's first half showing, because at the break Ipswich lead Blackburn by 3 goals to 1.
All square at the Riverside. Andy Sixsmith.
Yeah, in a game where both sides really need a win, Chappers. Middlesbrough 1, Southampton 1 at the break. Adam Armstrong sliding the Saints into an early lead after patient build-up, but there's a reason Southampton haven't kept a clean sheet in 24 games. They gave the ball away just before the half-time whistle. Riley McGree crashing his shot into the bottom corner. A reminder, Borough winless in the Championship this season. Southampton on a run of 3 straight defeats. Both managers under pressure. Something has to give. 1-1.
In the other games in the Championship, goalless between Leeds and Watford, and also between West Brom and Millwall. Just 1 goal in it. Swansea, they lead Sheffield Wednesday by 1-0. Jamal Lowe got that from the penalty spot. Into League One, Oxford against Exeter. Flo Pollock.
Half-time, Oxford 1, Exeter 0. The home side with a deserved lead at the break. Ruben Rodriguez with his first Oxford goal is the difference. Exeter hit the post but didn't really threaten much beyond that. At the break, Oxford lead Exeter by 1-0.
Elsewhere in League One, Blackpool lead Reading by 3-0. Jordan Rhodes has got 2 of those, one of them from the penalty spot. It's Bolton 1, Peterborough 1. Peterborough took the lead through Johnson Clark-Harris's 4th of the season. Victor Adebayo equalised just a couple of minutes later. 5 for the season for him, and Bolton are down to 10 men as well. They had a man sent off in first half stoppage time. To Mike Williams watching Portsmouth-Lincoln.
Portsmouth 2, Lincoln 1. This game burst into life with 2 goals in the opening 8 minutes. Lincoln taking a surprise lead through Hakeem Adelakan's superb finish from outside the box on his first start since returning to the club after a season-long loan at Gillingham. That lead didn't last long though, 3 minutes in fact. Pompey went up the other end, quick break. Robertson laid it off for Paddy Lane, whose left foot shot took a small deflection as it nestled into the bottom corner. So 1-1, the game then quietened down until injury time at the end of the first half. An aerial ball towards the back post. Defender Regan Poole for Portsmouth got his head onto it to divert it past Jensen in the Lincoln goal. The leaders, Pompey, haven't lost in 19 matches, remember. They're halfway to making that 20. They lead 2-1.
Elsewhere, Bristol Rovers lead Wigan by 2-1. The Wigan goal coming from Charlie Wyke. He's now already got 6 for the season. It's 22nd against 23rd as Burton take on Fleetwood, and that is 1-1. Cambridge, who've won 3 out of 4 at home this season, trail at the break to Port Vale. Cambridge 0, Port Vale 1. Ben Garrity with that goal, 5 for the season for him as well. Carlisle 0, Derby 1. James Collins 3rd of the season. The difference between those two sides. Charlton lead Wycombe by 1-0. Cheltenham are bottom and haven't scored this season in the EFL, and they trail at the break. They're looking for a new manager as well. Stevenage lead there by 1-0. Jordan Roberts with his 3rd of the season. It's Leyton Orient 1, Shrewsbury 0, Ruel Sotirio's 4th of the season. The difference between the two sides there. Northampton 0, Barnsley 1. Into League 2, the game we're at is Notts County against Forest Green Rovers. Chris Coles.
Comfortable afternoon so far for Notts County. They're well placed to make it 4 home wins from their 4 league games, leading Forest Green 2-0, 2 deep crosses, one met by Dan Crowley, the other by the prolific Macaulay Langstaff, a header and a toe poke, all very straightforward. Notts County 2, Forest Green 0.
Elsewhere in League 2, Crewe are in good form. They've only lost 1 of 8 in League 2 under Lee Bell, and they lead at the break by 2-0. Chris Long has got both of those goals. The leaders Gillingham have come from behind to level at Doncaster. It's 1-1 there. Grimsby have let a 2-goal lead slip at home to Crawley. That's 2-2. Harrogate 2, Salford 1. Mansfield 0, Barrow 0. Morecambe 1, Swindon 1. Swindon's goal coming from Dan Kemp, 6 for the season for him. Newport 1, Bradford City 3. Andy Cook back for Bradford today. He's got 2 of Mark Hughes' side's goals. Great first half for Stockport. They've had a little bit of a slow start to the season, but they lead Wrexham by 3-0 at the break. Sutton, who are bottom of the table and have lost their last 7, lead at the break by 1-0 against MK Dons. Tranmere lead Accrington 1-0. Josh Hawkes has got that from the penalty spot, 3 for him for the season, and Accrington are down to 10, and Walsall are down to 10 as well as they trail AFC Wimbledon at home by 1-0. Earlier, Celtic were down to 10. Joe Hart sent off there, but it didn't stop them winning 3-0 at Livingston. St Mirren are second in the table, and they lead at the break as well. Connie McLaughlin.
They do. St Mirren 1, Hearts 0. Saints' great form continues. That is so far, Mark. It was Ryan Strain who opened the scoring after a bit of a horror show from the Hearts defence, it's got to be said. Xander Clark, the goalkeeper, and Frankie Kent thought they each had this cross that came over. They didn't. Ryan was there to score probably the easiest goal of his career to date. Hearts have been trying to find their rhythm in this one, but the home side, they've been on top of everything that they've tried to throw at them. And if it stays this way, Saints will reduce Celtic's lead at the top to just 2 points. As it stands at half-time, it's St Mirren 1, Hearts 0.
Dundee 1, Kilmarnock 1. Dundee down to 10 in that game. Nick Montgomery's Hibs lead St Johnstone by 1-0. In the Scottish Championship, Airdrieonians 0, Wraith 0, Dunfermline 2, Morton 0. Inverness bottom of the table 0, Dundee United 0, and Partick Thistle 0, Arbroath 2. In League 1, Annan 0, Alloa 1, Edinburgh City 1, Cove Rangers 1. Goalless between Montrose and Stirling, and it's Queen of the South 1, Hamilton 1. In League 2, goalless between Bonnyrigg, Rose and Stenhouse Muir. Clyde 2 up on Elgin. Dumbarton 0, Peterhead 0, Spartans 1, East Fife 0, and Stranraer 0, Forfar 2. In the National League this afternoon, Woking 1, York 2 is how it finished. All the others are half-times. Altrincham 4, Ebbsfleet 1, Barnet 0, Halifax 0, Boreham Wood 0, Aldershot 1, Chesterfield the leaders 0, Wealdstone 1, Dagenham and Redbridge 0, Hartlepool 1, goalless between Dorking and Rochdale, Eastleigh 1, Kidderminster 1, Gateshead 0, Maidenhead 0, Oldham 2-0 up at home to Oxford City, goalless between Solihull Moors and Bromley. AFC Fylde lead at Southend by a 0-0. Earlier in the Women's Nations League, the Republic of Ireland beat Northern Ireland by 3-0. In the Rugby Union World Cup earlier, Georgia-Portugal finished 18-all. Still to come this evening here on 5 Live, England, Chile, and then South Africa against Ireland at 8 o'clock. In the Solheim Cup, Europe are up in all 4 games in the afternoon's 4 balls. They trail by 5 points to 7 to the USA overall. We'll go to Ian Carter in a moment. But first to Trent Bridge, where England have taken another wicket. Nikesh Regani.
They have, and it's Curtis Camphor who's been dismissed. Another wicket for Matthew Potts, who's now got 2 for 28 from his 5. A lovely delivery just outside off stump. A thin feather through off the bat of Camphor to Jamie Smith, who's keeping wicket for England today. So Ireland, that target looking further and further away now. 335 they need. They're 71 for 3 in the 10th.
To Spain for the Solheim Cup, to France for the Rugby Union after the latest BBC News at 3 minutes past 4.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
5 Live News headlines. I'm Helen Place. The government is facing growing calls to guarantee that the HS2 rail project will extend to Manchester. Rishi Sunak has refused to deny he's considering scrapping the second stage due to costs. More than 80 companies and business leaders have written to government expressing concern about the constant uncertainty. A man's in hospital after being attacked by a dog believed to be an American Bully XL in a South London park. Police are trying to track down the owner who fled the scene last night. US media are reporting President Biden plans to give Ukraine advanced long-range missiles to help with its war against Russia. The missiles have a range of up to 190 miles and would be able to hit Russian targets deep behind the front line. And a task force to speed up home insulation and boiler upgrades that was launched in March has been disbanded by the government. In a letter seen by the BBC, the Energy Efficiency Minister, Lord Callanan, told the group its work would be streamlined into ongoing government activity.
This is 5 Live Sports with Mark Chapman.
And the MACKEM CABBIE.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Let's go to the Solheim Cup then. Europe up in all 4 matches in the afternoon 4 balls, although it is tight, Ian Carter.
It is tight, but Leona Maguire has just birdied the 12th to take her and Charlie Hull back 4 up against Nelly Corder and Ali Ewing, and that is setting the tone in the top match. Anna Nordquist and Caroline Headwall 2 up after 10 against Cheyenne Knight and Angel Yin, and just 1 hole separating the sides, but in favour of Europe in the bottom 2 matches. Sagstrom and Pedersen for Europe, 1 up after 9 against Zhang and Lee, and Saganda and Grant, they've played 8 holes, and the Europeans there are 1 up against Danielle Kang and Lilia Vu.
So the cricket's on Sports Extra, the golf uninterrupted on the BBC Sport website, the rugby union between England and Chile will be uninterrupted on the BBC Sport website, but we will cover everything here on 5 Live all the way through until 8 o'clock, when we then have full commentary of South Africa against Ireland. Sarah Orchard is in Lille, ready for the England game.
Yeah, wholesale changes for England, 13 in total as they take on the tournament's lowest ranked side. The headlines, of course, Harlequins, Marcus Smith.
So the score so far, which really surprises me, is Norwich City 4. Sorry, Plymouth 4, Norwich City 0. That's just like mad.
18 on the board. Chile, they also make big changes, 9 in total as fullback Francisco Uros makes his Rugby World Cup
That is crazy.
at fullback.
Norwich City, I mean, we're expecting them to go
just to tidy up the day's other sports so far,
into the promotion challenges,
today.
but
The 9-1 shot significantly won the Air Gold Cup.
Ipswich are currently going great guns. They're leading 3-1 and they're top of the league at the moment on 21 points, and we're on 13.
So we've got every
so they're actually running away with it at the minute. Ipswich, incredible.
In the second half now as we
Preston are drawn 1-1, Leicester in 0-0.
Continuing to try and get Ian Dennis a detention.
Norwich 4-0. crazy, that.
That wouldn't be hard, I don't think.
Well, no, it wouldn't. I mean, to be honest...
Sheffield Wednesday are currently rock bottom of the league. They're losing 1-0. Middlesbrough and Southampton 1-1.
Welcome to my world, Michael.
Swansea City are 1-0. I'll be typing in as the goals come in.
But anyway, we are about to get back underway. Neither side has made a change at the start of the second half. Manchester City lead by 2-0. So in the second half, the champions in their sky blue shirts and white shorts will be playing from right to left against Nottingham Forest in the all.
What a crazy afternoon.
Half with Forest with Tavares going off, and he was replaced by Montiel. So Matt Turner is in goal for the away side. They've got a defence of Montiel. There's a flare up on that far side.
So as it stands,
Rodri,
Sunderland are still in 4th position.
Anthony Taylor, right on hand, shows the Manchester City midfielder red. Well, I'm not too sure how that was flaring up on the far side. I was just running through the two teams, but Rodri reacted, and a Forest player fell to the floor, surrounded by so many bodies on the far side, but Rodri has been shown red. Now, naturally, VAR will have a look, but from what we saw, there is going to be no escape here for Rodri. He pleads his innocence, but Anthony Taylor has given him his marching orders and saying, we will check it.
He's going to have a check, but there was one push, and that's what obviously got us all to look. And then there was another big push right into Gibbs White as they squared up. We sort of reacted to something, whizzed right across, and just trying to see the rerun. There's a bit of pushing, nothing much in it. Head to head, one first push, he comes back in, and as the head to head, oh, do you know what he does? He goes to touch him on the neck. Gibbs White at that point, as he grabs the neck, dives straight down.
I've got to say that the way that Gibbs White has reacted is way over the top. Now, that didn't warrant him.
It was a
falling
delayed
to the floor.
reaction, wasn't it? I think that's the point. He could have easily stayed up, and then he thought, oh, I've got to go down. I mean, that's the point.
That really was quite embarrassing from Gibbs White. Now, the thing is, does the referee deem that the hands around the neck, is that still violent conduct?
Wow, Luton 0, Wolves 1. Wolves are down to 10 men as well. So Luton, they're having a torrid time in the Premier League at the minute.
His reaction by falling to the floor. Yeah, you might stagger back if you.
So Man City down to 10 men, they're 2-0 up. I think they'll still win.
But Gibbs White has done Rodri no favours.
No, he's not, and it was how they determined. We just got the slow-mo now, and it's not one hand, is it two, just round the sort of the top of his neck. He waits, he reacts. So there was initial push, they're coming together again. But now VAR, Michael Salisbury has got to look at this, he's got to decide. And do you know what? Let's get this decision correct. Anthony Taylor, he's got to go at the monitor, he's got to go and have a look, make the decision.
In your opinion, hold on, goal at Luton, John Southall.
The 10-men lead, Luton 0, Wolves 1. Pedro Neto cut in from the right-hand side and smashed the ball into the roof of the net. What a start to the season he has had. And 10-men Wolves lead Luton by a goal to 0.
And meanwhile, Rodri, after the VAR check, it has been deemed that that is violent conduct. I still can't help but think that if Gibbs White doesn't fall to the floor, he gets shown a yellow card.
Yeah, but I want the referee to go and have a look at it. I want him to walk across, see what he thought. But Rodri, we've never really seen that reaction from him before, have we? From Rodri getting into those situations, and ultimately, once you raise your hands, you give the referee and these officials something to think about. Although the reaction was incredible from Gibbs White, what he did, and there's no need for that.
So City are down to 10. Forest have a throw, far side to left, long throw, headed away by Manchester City. There will be replacements coming very, very soon. Calvin Phillips is warming up, Nathan Ake is warming up as well. Manchester City lead by 2-0. I was only going through the two teams when that all sparks up over on the far side. So Turner in goal for Forest, Aurier, Aina, Niakate, Bolle and Montiel, Sangare, Mangala, Gibbs White, Dominguez and Awonyi. Manchester City now have Edison in goal, a back four of Walker, Diaz, Akanji and Gvardiol, Mateus Nunes, Alvarez, Foden, Haaland and Doku for the 10 men, as Guardiola just now crouches on one knee as Alan Tate will wander forward to have a word with Steve Cooper. Barge in the back from Diaz on Awoniyi. He goes to ground far too easily. What it has done, it's created now a little bit of needle in the game. Here is Awoniyi, pulls it back, Gibbs White shoots, takes the deflection behind for a corner, and Forest are buoyed by the fact that they're playing against the 10 men.
Right in front of their supporters, they put the press on. City can't find a way out. You've seen the reaction, Calvin Phillips just getting changed down to our right hand side, but as Forest step forward you can hear the boos. The Gibbs White as he approaches the corner flag to sort of throw this corner. City under a little bit of pressure.
Gibbs White then to take the corner kick on this near side, the right. Forest all in red, playing from left to right. You're listening to BBC Radio 5 Live. We're live on the World Service and BBC Sounds. It's rolled short to Montiel. He thought that Gibbs White was coming on the overlap. Instead it goes to Mangala, hits it on the half volley into the area, over the top of the crossbar. The Stockport County 4, Wrexham 0 is the latest score in League 2, and another goal at Portman Road in the Championship. Aaron Paul.
Blackburn have one back. It's a really good goal from Harry Leonard. Ball popped in by Callum Britton. Leonard holding off the defender and just planting the ball past Václav Hladký. Ipswich 3, Blackburn 2.
We said that Gareth Southgate was here watching on. He'll be delighted to see Calvin Phillips getting some valuable minute time, because his two substitute appearances before this had totaled just 13 minutes this season. So Phillips is on and Doku is the player sacrificed.
Yeah, he's obviously took him off from the wide area. We see Phil Foden just come out to the left hand side, Nunes, Phillips, Alvarez to the right, so more balance. You can see that decision. Unfortunate for Doku, he's had to be replaced, but yeah, big opportunity for Calvin Phillips. You know, going forward now, will he get a little bit of a run? Will we see him get some minutes? Because I think a lot of people have criticised him, and I've watched his career, played with him, started off as a youngster, and he's very talented, and it's a shame he hasn't been given those minutes for whatever those reasons are. So big chance for him.
MK Dons have equalised at Sutton in League 2. League 2, Sutton 1, MK Dons 1. And also in that division, Crewe 2, Colchester 1 is a latest score. We were talking in the first half, weren't we, about the Akanji yellow card. And just to tidy that up, there was a delay on the Premier League app that we get, but the Premier League have confirmed that Akanji was booked.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mess. They were still waiting to try and sort that out. But yeah, as first thought, we didn't think we were seeing things as that yellow card came up, Deno.
Here is Akanji, the player we've just been talking about, holds onto the ball. Pass it now to Gvardiol. Gvardiol along the ground. Foden lets it run through to Haaland. Uses his strength well to barge over volley. Alvarez picks it up, runs into a wall of red, and now with Gibbs White up towards Awoniyi. Awoniyi surrounded by sky blue shirts, lays it off. Montiel on this near side, the right. Dominguez will give it back. Montiel plays it back. There is certainly a belief now with Nottingham Forest. You can see that the way they're playing, they're passing it quicker.
Yeah, they're going to do that. They're going to have their possession, but City will just wait. They'll get back in, good shape. Guardiola won't be too concerned. But when I've seen City in this position before, Deno, what he says is, take the ball, make sure you keep doing that. Doesn't matter if we've got 10. Keep trying to create, keep trying to move the opposition round. They won't do anything different.
Steve Cooper's going to make a change as well. He's going to be bringing on Elanga and Hudson-Odoi, so they're going to be coming on very, very soon. Meanwhile, we'll go to Chris Coles at Meadow Lane,
where Forest Green are back in it. Notts County 2, Forest Green 1. The evergreen Troy Deeney, great turn, spin, first time shot into the net. Forest Green have one back. Notts County 2, Forest Green 1.
So this is going to be a positive change made by Steve Cooper. Tranmere nearly the 10 men of Accrington by 2-0 at Prenton Park in League 2. 5 Live in the World Service here, 9 minutes into the second half. City down to 10 men. A dramatic start to the second period as Mangala now with Sangare near Kartik, out towards that far side, the left for Ola Aina, who goes away from Walker and plays it in low. And Forest, their supporters, have got a lot of encouragement. They've got another corner kick.
Yeah, good move down that left-hand side. Looks like they were going to get behind. City just sitting deep, but again the supporters' reaction, but it's coming across. Kanji does so well. Pep Guardiola also looking to make a change. This game's in the balance, isn't it, at this moment? City have got to keep Forest away.
Yep, Ake's going to be coming on for Manchester City. The 10 men might have to dig in for a time. Corner kick to Forest, 2-0 down, far side the left, in it goes now, flicked on at the near post by Aurier, headed out by Walker inside that penalty area. Montiel dives to find Aurier midway through the City half. Aurier will switch play. Now, it's with Niakate, in field, Montiel, the substitute, goes square. Aurier forward, midway through the City half, scoops it out towards Gibbs-White, being booed and cheered by the City supporters and unable to keep the ball in play. Morecambe 1, Swindon 2 is the latest score, and Wickham have equalised at the Valley in League One. Charlton 1, Wickham 1. No other goals to tell you about Michael Brown.
Yes, tense here. Both managers try to make a change, and we're going to see those now, but how brave can Forest be? How many gaps are they prepared to leave? Obviously understand the counter what City can do, but it's really, really livened this game up now.
The first changes for Forest. Ibrahim Sangare is going to be coming off. Anthony Elanga, who scored against Chelsea, that winner, is going to be coming on. Still 2 more changes to go. Whilst they take place, we'll nip to Leicester. Pat Murphy.
It's still 0-0 against Bristol City, but I've just seen a magnificent save by O'Leary, the Bristol keeper. Dewsbury Hall's header, towering header, 6-yard box, bouncing past him, and he somehow clawed it away. Slightly reminiscent, Ian, if you don't mind me saying so, of Banks Pele. It was almost that good. Leicester 0, Bristol City 0.
I can visualise that perfectly, Pat. The other change, incidentally, was Hudson-Odoi coming on for Aurier, and Alvarez is the player who's going to be coming off. So Ake has to come on for Julian Alvarez after that sending off of Rodri.
Decision here. How's Pep Guardiola going to set his side up, put an extra defender in? Alvarez worked so hard, he hasn't really found as many openings as he has expected, but he's had a couple of free kicks. Just really seen the quality in those, but Guardiola just moves in one. Ake comes down the outside.
The 10 men of Manchester City are leading Nottingham Forest by 2-0. The 10 men of Wolves are 1-0 up at Kenilworth Road. What's the latest, Selhurst Park, Mas Faruqi?
Still goalless, 59 minutes on the clock, but a couple of chances for Palace in the second half from Hughes, and then Odsonne Edouard, although he was offside, but it's something for Palace to build on. More of this, please. Palace 0, Fulham 0.
Brentford Everton will come for commentary at 5:30 after we've brought you the first half of England against Chile in the Rugby Union World Cup. A reminder, if you want that uninterrupted, it's the BBC Sport website and app. We'll try and bring you as much of the first half as we can here on 5 Live. Bristol Rovers 3, Wigan 1 is the latest score in League One. Salford, who were 2-0 down, ball up towards Iwanyi. Meanwhile, Iwanyi then brings it down very, very well, and then just can't find the delicate lob. As now Iwanyi and Edison are like rutting stacks, head to head inside the 6-yard area. Talk about the needle in the game. The referee shows yellow to both players.
Oh, fascinating, wasn't it? City give the ball away. Pep Guardiola not pleased that they don't try and play out. Forest react, that ball right in behind, and as Edison comes away, we'll see if it's tight. It is onside, and then as you say, face to face, try to see why it was. It's because of the dive, because it goes to ground. Edison saying, not on my watch, one, he's got to stay up, and then the battle's there. No headbutt thrown, but very close as the referee just splits them up.
So Salford, who were 2-0 down, have now levelled at Harrogate. That's 2-2. What's the latest in Ipswich, Aaron Paul?
Ipswich 3, Blackburn 2. Blackburn push an equaliser here and have come very close. Harry Leonard placing a header towards the bottom corner of the goal. Fantastic one-handed save by Hladky to keep his side ahead. Ipswich 3, Blackburn 2.
Harry Kane, incidentally, has hit a hat-trick for Bayern Munich. Bayern 7, Bochum 0.
7-0.
Back
right.
to Notts County, Chris Coles we go.
From 2-0 down, Forest Green are level at 2-2. Troy Deeney again, right foot volley that just dropped into the bottom corner. You just didn't see this coming at half-time. Notts County 2, Forest Green 2.
Tell you what, when you're down to 10 men, you need sometimes the supporters to help you out. And that is great vocal backing. Terrific noise there inside the Etihad for Manchester City, because Forest, with half an hour to play, are looking for a way back into the game. Now, Hudson-Odoi, over his head it goes, and out for a goal kick. We'll go back to Luton, John Southall.
Luton 0, 10-man Wolves 1. It could be 2-0 as well. Mario Lemina at the back post. His header hit the post, and then Kaminski saved the rebound from Kilman. Luton 0, Wolves 1.
Match of the day tonight, 10:30. Good atmosphere.
Yeah, brilliant atmosphere, as you said, about the supporters getting behind them. And you know, we haven't really heard this type of noise. It's been too comfortable. Not really challenged them. And
tell you what,
there's
a Norwich City manager going to get sacked, I think.
Change, wasn't it? Taking Alvarez off, City just dropping into
That's mental.
back five just to try and
5-0.
nullify any pressure. And allowed Ake to come forward. Kyle Walker as well, wherever possible, to join that three-man midfield. Haaland just at the top, waiting for any sort of service.
So Ake is the left wing back. You've got a back three now of Gvardiol, Diaz and Akanji, with Kyle Walker over on that far side, the right, and the ball is picked up by Hudson-Odoi, and it's out to Ola Aina, who surges, and then the ball runs away from
Plymouth
it.
are leading Norwich by 5-0.
Plymouth Norwich, John Akers.
5-0 Plymouth. Unbelievable. Morgan Whittaker has scored a hat-trick. His first for
Giving a takeaway at night, Caden?
Sweeping breakaway. Norwich have been hopeless. Plymouth 5, Norwich 0.
BBC Radio 5 Live. Edison in no real hurry to take the goal kick. And all of the sense of jeopardy and ill feeling in the game caused by that Rodri sending off and the reaction of Gibbs-White that played its part. There's no 606 tonight because of the live football and rugby union, but I would imagine if Chris Sutton's doing the simulation game tomorrow, 606, then that may well feature on it. You can see for yourself tonight, match of the day at 10:30, for the part that Gibbs-White played in that dismissal of Rodri. Elanga, the former Manchester United player, of course, here at the Etihad. Now towards Dominguez. Elanga lays it off. They're on the ball a lot more now, are the Forest players, all in red. Aina on that far side, the left. Hudson-Odoi now level with the penalty area. Hudson-Odoi inside to Mangala. Crosses the ball along the ground. Out towards Montiel. Sends in a teasing ball. Cleared away well by Ruben Diaz.
Great ball in. You want to deliver wherever possible. Good pressure from Forest. They've got to keep attacking, keep the pressure on.
A penalty at Leicester, Pat Murphy.
To Leicester, going to be taken by Jamie Vardy. Indeed, he brought down by Naismith. It's 0-0 at the moment. This is a very important moment. O'Leary in the Bristol City goal has played an absolute blinder.
Middlesbrough up and running, winning
that
at the minute.
For this penalty from Jamie Vardy. He steadies himself. It's going to be a right foot penalty. Here he comes. It's there. High to O'Leary's left. A brilliant penalty. The keeper couldn't save that. Leicester 1, Bristol City 0.
The last we heard, Preston were at Rotherham, the leaders. They're on such a good winning run. They're drawing 1-1 in South Yorkshire. Penalty now at Luton, John Southall.
And what a moment this could be. It's a penalty to Luton Town. Luton 0, Wolves 1. Kabore with the cross. Handball ricocheted onto the arm of Gomez. VAR has looked at it and given it. And it's going to be Carlton Morris who will take it in front of the Kenilworth Road stand. They wait expectantly behind the goal. Jose Sarr in the Wolves goal, all in yellow, waits. Carlton Morris, the number 9 for Luton Town, just on the edge of the penalty area. Just clears a bit of grass from the edge of his boot, steps up now on his right foot, just stutters slightly and rolls it into the bottom left-hand corner, and Luton are back in it.
Shut the door, boys.
Wolves 1.
I think that's his 50th league goal of his career as well.
Couldn't even leave the raw.
There's been a goal against Southampton, Andy Sixsmith.
Massive goal for Middlesbrough and Michael Carrick. Middlesbrough 2, Southampton 1. It's come from a penalty spot. Josh Colburn hauled down by Taylor Harwood Bellows. Up step Johnny Howson to roll it into the bottom corner. Winless Borough this season lead 2-1.
You're not missing any of the action here so far.
Ipswich 3, Blackburn 3. Cracking game that.
Now out towards Elanga level, the penalty area right-hand side. Elanga infield, Gibbs-White.
Crazy scores coming through at the minute.
His teammate from that successful England under-17 side.
So Leicester back at the top of the league at the minute on 21. Ipswich down to 3rd.
Who goes away from volley? He glides past volley. He's into the penalty area. Montiel recovers with a sliding block behind for a corner. Goal at Notts County, Chris Coles.
Notts County are back in front. You can't take your eyes off this one. They lead 3-2. John Bostock tapping in after a good initial save from Luke Daniels in the Forest Green goal. Notts County 3, Forest Green 2.
The goals are flying in on 5 Live. Straight to Ipswich, Aaron Paul.
Equaliser for Blackburn. Ipswich 3, Blackburn 3. Sami Szmodek's edge of the area, he stumbles, gets himself back up and lashes the ball past the goalkeeper. Game on.
Good result for Sunderland, that mind, because the goal difference, Norwich City behind them. Let in 15, we've let in 7.
65 minutes played. Foden with the corner, headed out by Iwanyi. Ilanga heads
Middlesbrough are currently up to
to
3rd off bottom. Terrible start for Southampton at the minute.
Uses his strength to hold off Mateus, still going Iwanyi, runs into Guardiola.
Southampton have lost their last 3 games.
And Guardiola whips up the crowd, and the crowd respond at the Etihad as we go to Trent Bridge, a wicket at the cricket, Nikesh Rugani.
4th one down for Ireland here. Lorcan Tucker dismissed by Scrimshaw. Brilliant catch by Ben Duckett there at short mid-wicket. 335 the target. They're now 103 for 4 Ireland in the 15th over.
I think the message was, such as the din here at the Etihad, I could hardly hear it, but I think it was Notts County a goal. Chris Coles.
Another one, Ian, for Notts County. Their 2-goal lead restored, leading Forest Green by 4 goals to 2. David McGoldrick clean through, fine finish into the bottom corner. Notts County 4, Forest Green 2.
Foden loses the ball in the midfield. Forest have it now with Montiel, plays the ball inside, laid off by Gibbs White. Forest looking to try and get a goal back. Gibbs White being booed by the City supporters. Out towards
So Leicester have won the last 6 out of 7 games in the Championship.
Runs into a little bit of traffic. Aina on that far side. There is Dominguez as well. Hudson-Odoi keeping the ball now. Nottingham Forest using that extra man to their advantage.
I think Wednesday they're going to stay back down like.
Bolly. Out now to Montiel, near side the right, down the line he goes towards Ilanga, couldn't control it, slips underneath his foot, keeps it alive, he's barged over by the strength of Guardiola anyway, and the former Manchester United player, the City fans enjoyed that, Michael Brown.
Right, he nearly ended up in the actual City end, didn't he, that far, with that challenge.
2 quick goals there for AFC Wimbledon.
Football, end to end.
Matter of minutes.
It's so open now, it's seen Phil Foden, Haaland into link. Gets down that left-hand side. Looks like Phil Foden was going to get his shot. Montiel, great block, and Forest.
Sheffield Wednesday.
The atmosphere. Pep Guardiola trying to get the supporters up, and what a great game of football we've got now.
I think I predicted Middlesbrough actually
Wimbledon 2, Notts County
beat
Forest Green by 4 goals to 2. You're up to date with the goals as they go on. We go in. We're midway through the second half. We're going to try and squeeze in as much of England-Chile in the Rugby Union World Cup. We've then got Brentford against Everton at 5:30, and then South Africa against Ireland tonight.
Leeds United now 1, Watford 0.
Every game at the Rugby
Big
Union
goal in the
World
Championship
Cup
there,
live
mate.
throughout our network. Solheim Cup coverage continues on the BBC Sport website and online. England-Ireland in the cricket, that's on Sports Extra. The Ryder Cup, of course, next week. We think that this Saturday afternoon is frenetic. Wait till next Saturday, we've got the Ryder Cup as well as the football. Swansea 2, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Hibs 2, St Johnstone 0 are latest scores. Leeds United, who've drawn all 3 at home in the Championship, have taken the lead at Ellen Road at home to Watford. Leeds 1, Watford 0. Nottingham Forest have got about 22 minutes remaining plus added on time. A frantic Pep Guardiola wanted Ake to come close towards Ilanga. It was comfortable for Manchester City in the first half. It's anything
their
but
goal didn't matter.
Now with that sending
Count
off as
for
Hudson-Odoi glides in off that left touchline, runs into a central area. Montiel is forward, on loan from Sevilla, cuts it back towards Hudson-Odoi. Everybody back by Haaland. Dominguez, Aina, gives it back to the Argentine midfielder. Now it's with Niakate. Hudson-Odoi chips the ball in towards the penalty area. Gibbs White gets his head on it, but can't direct it goalwards. Bounces off his head and out for a goal kick. City still lead 2-0.
Good shape, wasn't it, from City? They waited, they just delayed, made sure their angles were right. Forrest tried that difficult ball to the back post, and it was just too big. Give City a little bit of time, but what Pep Guardiola be demanding, you've got to take the ball. Edison looks like he's going to go long into Erling Haaland, try and get right up the pitch. It surprises me. Just want a little bit of a breather, Dano.
How's the atmosphere building in Lille? 15 minutes to kick off England-Chile. Sarah Orchard.
They've just finished the warm-ups. They've gone into the changing rooms. They're getting ready for this Paul D clash. Marcus Smith at 15, Owen Farrell at 10 for England. So much to play for still in this group as they build towards those quarterfinals. Kick-off in Lille at 4:45.
And coverage underway in about 4 minutes time on online. But remember, of course, if you want the uninterrupted coverage, that's where you'll find it, the app, the BBC Sport website. We're going to try and give you as much of the first half as we can. Certainly at half-time, it looked like we'd probably be there for kick-off. The way it's 2-0 to Manchester City, but down to 10 men, not necessarily so sure unless they can get a third. Here is Ilanga, as Ilanga goes for a curling effort towards the far post.
Top with two buses come up once. There we go, Leeds United 2, Watford 0.
Was he pulled back at that far post as it flashed before him and that far post? In the end, it's gone out for a goal kick.
Yeah, it was a wonderful sort of ball in, wasn't
Gateshead going well, another North East team.
Right on the back post. So Cooper was asking for it, realises there wasn't much, but really dangerous from Ilanga as one. He just gets into that back post.
Wigan Athletic, who
let's get an update from
former FA Cup winners getting thumped at Bristol Rovers.
Wolves won, but Luton are hunting for that second. Marvellous Nakamba unmarked, 14 yards out into the ground and wide. Luton won, 10 men, Wolves won.
Ilanga makes the run forward, heads it into the path of Gibbs White, lays it out towards Montiel. Forest giving it a go against the 10 men, against the champions. Still got an awful lot of work to do with time ticking away from them, under 19 minutes remaining. Here is Dominguez. He goes square, near Karte, forward ball, finds Hudson-Odoi, left corner of the area. Hudson-Odoi sends over the cross. Gibbs White beaten in the air by Gvardiol, comes out towards the far side. Down into the ground it was by Ilanga, left-footed, saved by Edison at his near post. Team news now from Brentford, John Murray.
Brentford's Rico Henry might be out for the rest of the season with a knee injury. So as expected, Roslev comes in with Hickey moving across the left back. No Ben Mee today either because of injury. Sharda returns with Brentford reverting to a back four. One Everton change. Garner is back in the team with Danjuma on the bench. Still no Jack Harrison for Everton yet though.
Commentary with John and Steve Sidwell after the first half of England-Chile here on 5 Live. Leeds have got a second goal at home to Watford in the Championship. Leeds United 2, Watford 0. Cheltenham 0, Stevenage 2 is the latest score in League One. Cheltenham are still yet to score in nearly 9 games of football. The only side in the Football League. Wade Elliott left in midweek. Kevin Russell is the caretaker and still unable to bring a change of fortunes. 1 point for Cheltenham all season and still scoreless throughout this campaign. Bristol Rovers are not, though. They've got a fourth. Joey Barton's Bristol Rovers 4, Wigan 1 is a latest
I said about goal difference. Norwich City have made that a little bit better. They pulled the goal back. Still think it's too late.
Tense here at the Etihad. Forest just trying to find a way through wherever possible. So looking to see what changes can be made now down to our right. Everybody up around the manager for a Forest technical area, but City just delaying it, going long again into Haaland, thinking we're in no rush, we'll try and get some possession, but in the right areas.
Phillips charges forward for Manchester City, holds off the challenge and tries to cut it back. Haaland was leaving it for Foden, and that allowed Bolly with the interception to clear. Forest have scored in each of their last 12 Premier League games, incidentally, since April. Another goal at home park, John Akers.
Norwich have got one back. Plymouth 5, Norwich 1. Adamida, left foot. Plymouth 5, Norwich 1.
Throw comes in from Walker, cleared by Near Karte. Walker will try and pin Aina back in that far side, and it goes out of play, and it's a Nottingham Forest throw deep inside their own half. So they are going to be making another change, Nottingham Forest. They've already seen that it's going to be Divock Origi who's going to be coming on. So Divock Origi, who's never scored in 6 previous games against Manchester City in his career, is going to be coming on for just his second appearance since that loan move from Milan, with an option to make it permanent. And Chris Wood as well. Well, Wood, of course, I remember vividly being at the City Ground in February. It was a terrific atmosphere that afternoon, and Chris Wood actually got a dramatic equaliser late on in that game in a 1-1 draw at the City Ground. But Forest need to find 2 goals on this occasion, as the 10 men for the champions still have that bit of a cushion. But another double change and another attacking change being made by Steve Cooper. Might as well go for it in that sense, isn't it?
No,
it's a free hit.
He's got to go for it. He's got to get everyone on the pitch. City are just saying, you know what, let's have a look here. We'll sit tight. We'll wait for chances. And they've got to be clinical now. They've got to put the balls in, and with Wood they can do that.
Aina. Ball down with Mangala. Hudson-Odoi, laid off by Dominguez. Gibbs White towards Awonyi, trying to turn, just couldn't find the wriggle room. It was Foden in the end, I think, who got a sliding challenge in there. Montiel plays it in towards Iwanyi. Gibbs White with a shot, closed down very quickly. Excellent defending by Manchester City. Behind it goes for another corner.
Yeah, they're asking for a decision to be made, whether he's in an offside position, but as they try and turn, get the shot away, Akanji defended so well, throws his body right on the line, and he's those changes now.
So whilst the changes happen, where will it go next? Another goal at St Mirren. Connie McLaughlin.
Well, he thought it was a goal, but it's not. It's still St Mirren 1, Hearts 0. It was Mikel Mandaron just came on as a substitute. We think it was for a foul, but the goal was ruled out. Remember, they had one ruled out in the first half through Greg Kiltie, and Hearts just had a shot cleared off the line by Kai Rolls. It's all happening. St Mirren 1, Hearts 0.
Thanks, Connie. So Divock Origi has come on for Ola Aina. And Chris Wood is on the field of play as well. And it's Iwanyi who has come off for Chris Wood. That's the double change for Nottingham Forest. Trailing 2-0. Corner kick far side. In it goes. Might come towards the far post, towards Ilanga. Cleared away by Mateus. Will he keep the ball in play? No, he won't. It'll be a Forest throw midway through the Manchester City half. 15 minutes remaining. Cheltenham 0, Stevenage 3 is the latest score in League One. Penalty at Notts County, Chris Coles.
A penalty for Forest Green. This to make it Notts County 4, Forest Green 3 in this remarkable game. Here's Troy Deeney, scores, slams it down the middle. It's a hat-trick for Deeney, and it's Notts County 4, Forest Green 3.
Hudson-Odoi gets the ball back from Gibbs White, edge of the area. Still they trail 2-0. It runs towards Montiel, chips it in first time towards that far post, downward header, appeal for handball, but there was a push there. Anthony Taylor has spotted the push from Gibbs White on Kyle Walker, and it will be a free kick to Manchester City.
Yeah, it was a soft one really. You don't get involved, it's just exactly what City have wanted. Gibbs White, just that little nudge into Walker. He falls forward, referee right on top of us says that's a foul. City take the time yet again, but it's interesting how City have approached this. Normally with 10 men, they say, OK, we'll try and play out, we'll keep creating, we'll keep the ball for longer periods. On this one, they've just sort of gone, right, we're going to be behind it, we're going to be difficult to beat, we're going to kill the spaces and make sure Forest don't have any area to get through.
Foden chopped down by Mangala. That will be a yellow card for the Nottingham Forest midfielder. Incidentally, coverage is now underway of England-Chile on the BBC Sport website and app of that Rugby Union World Cup game, England-Chile, which we're bringing you after the football. It remains Luton Town 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. Wolves are down to 10 men. What's the latest at Selhurst Park, Maz Faruqi?
Still goalless. Another good chance for Fulham, though, involving Jimenez. This time he flashed the ball across the face of goal. Pereira just couldn't get on the end of it as Palace go over from a corner. Still Palace.
Cross from Ake to Haaland, couldn't finish it. Walker played the diagonal ball into the inside left channel of the penalty area. Ake sent over the cross, Haaland arriving, couldn't keep it down. That was a chance to seal it.
Pep Guardiola's demanding all the supporters get behind him. What a move. There was that free kick. Montiel sleeping. Ake just gets him behind him, sets it across. Haaland comes with a simple finish, puts it over the bar.
Origi runs away on the right. He sends over the cross. Interception from Guardiol. Prevents it going out for a corner too and clears it out of play for a throw. We've still got 12 minutes remaining, and I would imagine there could be at least another 5 minutes at least of added on time. Origi to Gibbs White, 25 yards out from goal. Foden, always economical with the ball, holding on to it. And then the header back from Mateus, cleared away by Diaz and cleared long. Another goal at Portman Road, Aaron Paul.
Oh, this is gorgeous from Massi Malongo. On the half volley, he's curled the ball into the top corner from the edge of the D. Ipswich back in front. Ipswich 4, Blackburn 3.
I'll rattle through all the latest scores for you very, very soon. With just over 10 minutes remaining. Guardiola still as a cheerleader trying to keep the crowd going. As now it is with Origi. Origi outside the area towards Gibbs White. Gibbs White looks to try and turn. Now they switch it out towards the left. Guardiola's not happy with the lack of pressing at that stage. And it goes to the penalty area, caught by Edison. Penalty at Oxford now, Flo Pollock.
Yes, and it's just been scored by Cameron Brannigan for Oxford. They lead Exeter by 2-0.
Latest scores in the Scottish Premiership. Well, the result earlier was Livingston 0, Celtic 3. These are the latest scores. Dundee 1, Kilmarnock 1. Dundee are down to 10 men. Hibs lead St Johnstone 2-0. St Mirren lead Hearts by a goal to 0. That will reduce Celtic's lead at the top of the table to just 2 points. We go back to Plymouth. In the Championship, John Akers.
A 7th goal in the afternoon, and Norwich have got another one back. Adamida from the penalty spot. Barley Mumba, formerly of Norwich, gave it away. Plymouth 5, Norwich 2.
Manchester City have got a throw deep inside the Forest half
mad.
on that far side, the right, down to 10 men, still leading by 2 goals to 0. Latest scores in League 2, Crewe 2, Colchester 1,
back to 5-5.
The leaders Gillingham 1, Grimsby 2, Crawley 2, Harrogate 3, Salford City 2, Mansfield still unbeaten this season, Nigel Clough's side. Lead Barrow by a goal to 0, Morecambe down to 10 men. Drawing 2-2 with Swindon, who themselves are unbeaten. Bradford City on course for their first away win of the season. Newport 1, Bradford 3. Notts County 4, Forest Green 3. Stockport lead Wrexham by 4 goals to 0. Sutton United 1, MK Dons 1. Sutton haven't won since the opening day.
Wow,
Tranmere lead
from
the 10 men of
Ipswich.
Accrington 2-0. Walsall, who themselves have had a player dismissed, are trailing at home to Wimbledon by 2 goals to 1. The corner kick to be taken by Manchester City, and not many sky blue shirts are going inside that penalty area, which means we can nip to the cricket where there's been a wicket. Nikesh Ragani.
Rehan Ahmed removing Harry Tector for 39. Ireland now 121 for 5 in the 20th over.
Commentary continues on Sports Extra. We've got it all covered this afternoon. Here is Phillips, goes down, gets back to his feet, challenged by Niakate. Ball doesn't go out of play. Niakate will clear the ball away. That was telling from City, wasn't it? That was a loose ball, and that's just gone and caught a City player in the face. That might be Guardiola, and it's a yellow card that has been shown.
Yeah, it just goes over the head, doesn't it? I'm not sure it's deliberate. Guardiola just gets his head right in.
He's Origi.
I think it's Origi who just catches him on the side of the face. Referee right on top of it. He even thought about it, didn't he? That he didn't really want to give the yellow card, but he thought, you know what? I've got to do it. You know, for the safety reasons, he's getting caught in the head, but certainly not deliberate.
There's going to be a stoppage in play. We'll get an update from Rotherham with Katie Smith.
Yeah, it's still Rotherham 1, Preston North End 1. The game is getting spiky though. Yellow cards handed out like sweets, including to Matt Taylor, the Rotherham boss. Preston though almost taking the lead. A boomer from Ledson from the edge of the D. The follow-up saved as well. They're off the top of the table for now. Their 6-match winning run in danger as well. 1-1.
Blackpool 4, Reading 1, Charlton 2, Wycombe 1. These are the latest scores elsewhere in League 1. Whilst there's a stoppage in play, it's the perfect opportunity, because as soon as the football is finished, we're going off to the rugby. Blackpool 4, Reading 1, Bolton 1, Peterborough 1. Bolton are down to 10 men. Bristol Rovers lead Wigan 4-1, Burton 1, Fleetwood 1, Cambridge United 1, Port Vale 1, Carlisle 0, Derby County 1. Charlton leading Wycombe 2-1 as we say. Cheltenham 0,
Derby
Stevenage
County
3.
2.
Leyton Orient still leads Shrewsbury by a goal to 0. Northampton 0, Barnsley 1, Oxford 2, Exeter 0. We heard that from Flo. And Portsmouth have come from behind to lead Lincoln City, the leaders, by 2 goals to 1. So Pompey would remain at the top and would still remain unbeaten in League 1. As we go to Luton and John Southall.
6 minutes to play. Luton 1, Wolves 1. Luton have a corner on the far side. They've dominated possession, but no chances since that equalising goal. Have they got the winner in them? Luton 1, Wolves 1.
Remains Crystal Palace 0, Fulham 0. Latest scores in the Championship. It's been a real humdinger at Portman Road. Ipswich 4, Blackburn 3. Leeds United's first home win of the season. They lead Watford by 2 goals to 0. Leicester 1, Bristol City 0. You heard that Jamie Vardy penalty live on 5 Live. As the ball goes in towards Ake in the penalty area, Forest will clear this away. Middlesbrough have come from behind. Could be their first win. Significant win for Michael Carrick. 2-1 they lead against Southampton. Could be a 4th straight defeat for the Saints as Phillips picks it up for Manchester City. Right corner of the area. Plymouth 5, Norwich 2, Rotherham 1, Preston North End 1, Swansea 3, Sheffield Wednesday 0. If it stays like that, Leicester City will be the new leaders of the Championship. And you're up to date with the goals as they go in with 7 minutes remaining. If you want the rugby, BBC Sport website and app underway now. England against Chile. We'll have regular updates until this match is finished. But now this is a chance for Origi. Shot blocked, cleared away by Manchester City. Forest is still having a go, Michael Brown.
Yeah, they are down that left-hand side, going really well as the ball comes across the face, but City got great numbers as the shot comes. Everybody hands down the side, don't want to level it up. But with the change, with Wood, Origi, Hudson-Odoi, when it goes forward, Calvin Phillips trying to drive forward whenever possible.
Phillips chips it long, headed away by Bolly, picked up now by Dominguez midway through his own half. 6 minutes remain, all red of Forest. Gibbs White tries to slide that ball through to Hudson-Odoi, well read by Gvardiol. You look at this Manchester City defence, I mean, they haven't conceded more than one since Tottenham Hotspur in January. That's 39 games ago in all competitions, and if they can keep a clean sheet, playing the entire second half,
Ipswich for Blackburn today.
Guardiola will be thrilled.
Take your hats off to Ipswich, mate.
Playing the Champions League, limited numbers with the injuries that City have got as well. He'd be absolutely delighted. He's trying everything he possibly can to get this over the line. He realised that the tanks are low on some of these players, and it's a tough ending to it.
Ball played long up towards Haaland. He'll get there before Bolly. Bolly then barges him over from behind, and that will be a free kick to Manchester City down towards the corner flag on the left-hand side. Dundee 1, Kilmarnock 2. Derby County have got a second goal at Carlisle. 2-0 they lead in League One. What's the latest in the Solheim Cup? Ian Carter.
Charlie Hull and Leona Maguire on the verge of victory over Nelly Corder and Ali Ewing, 4 up with 4 to play, but 2 of the matches where Europe were ahead have now gone back to all square as they come down the back 9. In the other match, Madeline Sagsbrun and Emily Pedersen are 1 up after 11 on Rose Zhang and Andrea Lee.
Thank you, Ian. The Ryder Cup incident, that's commentary of that is on the sports website as well and online. The Ryder Cup next week, 9 o'clock in the morning next Friday. BBC Radio 5 Live, the only place to be. The cross comes in from Haaland. City still lead by 2 goals to 0 in their sky blue shirts, playing from right to left. Barnsley have got a second goal at Northampton. Northampton 0, Barnsley 2. We've got 4.5 minutes of normal time remaining. Jack Grealish is going to be coming on very, very soon for the closing stages. He's missed the last 3 matches with a thigh injury. Grealish is coming on. The games will continue to come thick and fast for the treble winners. Wednesday night they go to Newcastle United in the League Cup. You can hear that live on 5 Live as well. So much live sport to look forward to in the coming hours and coming days as Akanji will clear the ball away. Flicked on by Mateus towards Haaland. Stabbed away by Bolly. Out of play, it goes for a throw.
That was good play, that. Haaland just threatened, waited for the challenge, delayed it yet again. But it's Phil Foden who's going to make way. Then over Jack Grealish. He's just had a little problem on his lower back. He was really in discomfort, and that point.
Stephen, how are you doing? I think it's going to be a tough game, Stephen, mate. I think they're all going to be tough. Just have to be on our game and our ball. And on paper, I think we do have enough to turn them over. But I mean, they've got good players like Aaron Ramsey and stuff, and they're in good form. Cardiff City.
Don't go anywhere, just stay in your shape, and that's what he's going to do.
I don't think Foden's given the ball away all afternoon, and no wonder he's just been given the high fives from Guardiola and then embraced by his manager. Outstanding from Phil Foden, who of course set Manchester City on
their last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have won 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're doing okay.
Have really had to make the champions work hard. Although they have defended very, very well so far, as Ake now for the 10 men towards Phillips, lets it come across his body and plays the ball wide.
I will be doing the uninterrupted commentary here tomorrow.
City go through a passage of play and retain
just thought I'd do some football scores.
Where it's still Middlesbrough 2, Southampton
See, we aren't playing today.
3 for Middlesbrough. Riley McGree hitting the post. Johnny Howson's the odd goal in 3. This would be a massive first win of the season for Michael Carrick and Middlesbrough. 2-1.
Pep Guardiola is again going crazy at Ederson. It's these details, these 1% that he demands for his players. He might as well get his boots on and get on there, mate. He's that far on the pitch. Actually, already being in trouble, you best be careful.
He will be exhausted at the end of this game. He is extremely animated. Let's get an update from Kenilworth Road. John Southall.
In the 89th minute, Luton 1, Wolves 1. Luton thought they had the second. Chidozie Ogbene on the right of the area, put it into the back of the net, but the flag was up. And they are still checking this. It was really tight, but just looks offside. Luton 1, Wolves 1.
Elsewhere, Walsall 1, Wimbledon 3. As Forest are attacking, in it goes towards Wood. Oof, it was a lucky ricochet coming in off Ilanga, making a run into the edge of the 6-yard box on that left-hand side, and it cannoned off his shins and into the side netting, and it's out for a goal kick. They've navigated quite an awkward second half well, the champions.
Yeah, they have, and obviously in a different style, a different way of sitting, being hard to beat. They've had to close the
Leeds United 3, Watford 0. I mean, that was 0-0 for quite some time, that as well.
A little snippet of Rodri stood at the back. He'd be thinking and hoping his team get through this, because you can imagine the manager's going to say, yes, there was minimal contact, but why did your arm go up? Why did you even have that threatening
Hollywood
sort of
glamour of Wrexham, and they're not so glamorous at the minute. They're losing 5-0 away to Stockport.
And the leaders' unbeaten run looks like it's stretching to 20 matches. Remember, they haven't lost since the 11th of March. They've had to come from behind here to lead, but they still lead Lincoln by 2-1 as we head into the final stages. Got a little slight pause for an injury here, but at the moment, Portsmouth looking like they're leading. They're going to win 2-1.
Forest win the ball midway through their own half. St Mirren have got a second goal at home to Hearts. So that means Celtic's lead will just be 2 points. Leeds now lead Watford by 3-0, and Andy Cook has scored a hat-trick for Bradford at Newport as Mark Hughes' team lead 4-1. Forest attacking on the edge of the area. There was Matthias Nunes to break the ball away up towards Haaland. How much added on time will there be here at the Etihad? We'll find out very, very soon, I'm sure. Doncaster 2, Gillingham 1. They're back in front against the League 2 leaders. No fouls as the referee.
Yeah, you're welcome, Stephen. Thanks for tuning in as always, mate.
Squares up towards Wood. Grealish, I thought, was given the go-ahead to continue, but after a hesitation from the referee, Anthony Taylor, he did indeed stop play. And there will be 7 minutes of added on time, which we're about to go into.
Now listen, there was an arm, he did get caught, but at that point the referee didn't make a decision, said it was a foul. Jack Grealish looks forward and says, well, everyone stopped, I've got the space, I'll just roll Ake in. At that point, referee goes, you know what, I'm going to stop it.
Another penalty at Oxford, Flo Pollock.
And it's been converted again by Cameron Brannigan. Oxford 3, Exeter 0. He went the same way as the last penalty. Nearly over here, it's Oxford 3, Exeter 0.
Stockport County 5, Wrexham 0 in League 2. Let's get an update from Leicester. Pat Murphy.
City 1, Bristol City 0, and that is the final score. Deserved. Vardy's penalty halfway through the second half. No argument about that. Bristol City didn't even have a corner in the game. Leicester 1, Bristol City 0.
Well, that would take Leicester top, although they are still playing at Rotherham, but it's Rotherham 1, Preston North End 1. They were the leaders this morning. Now it's Hudson-Odoi running forward. Crosses on the right-hand side, kept alive by Gibbs White on the edge of the area. Montiel is also there. Foul was there from Calvin Phillips? Yes, that was on Origi. So Forest, we're now into the first minute of the 7 to be added on.
Look at Pep, he's going crazy. He's so irate. Every single decision feels like it's going against him. It was a little bit of sort of shoulder to shoulder with Origi and Phillips, but the referee decided it's a free kick to Forest. More pressure on City.
So 2-0 to Manchester City. 6 minutes of added on time remaining. The rugby coming up live on 5 Live. You're not fit to referee is the deafening chant from inside the Etihad. Directed towards Anthony Taylor. Stuttering run up from Gibbs White. Swung over deep towards the far post. Elanga couldn't meet it, and Walker will get there first. Where will we go next then in this frantic finish? It's to Aaron Paul at Portman Road.
Ipswich 4, Blackburn 3 into 7 additional minutes.
Yes, we are keeping ourselves in 4th position.
Will be hoping that Massimo Luongo's fine strike will seal the 3 points after a roller coaster afternoon in Suffolk. Ipswich 4, Blackburn 3.
We're 5 minutes away from the live rugby union coming from
Middlesbrough have won. They have beaten Southampton.
Premier League, Luton 1, Wolves 1, Crystal Palace.
But yeah, we are staying in 4th.
St Mirren with Conor McLaughlin.
It's still St Mirren 1, Hearts 0. They've had the home side, that is, had their 3rd goal.
If we do win tomorrow, we will stay 4th.
Moment for the fans in here, but the referee says no goals.
We will be 4 points behind.
Thank you, Connie.
Preston if we win.
Terrific
There's
noise
a bit of a gap at the minute.
by the City supporters. Everybody around us up and out of their feet.
Leeds United are sniffing down Sunderland's necks at the minute. They're currently on 13 points, the same as us after their 3-0 victory today.
Know what he's going to react. We were up against everything today. What a performance from his players. They were tight. They got through difficult situations. There's another foul. Jack Grealish getting involved. Pep Guardiola just looks on. City are just going to try and delay and keep it in that corner.
Grealish is shown a yellow card. Montiel is shown a yellow card for that little flashpoint, although it didn't really seem to be a great deal. But Anthony Taylor has shown a yellow card for both players, and certainly from Manchester City's point of view, it just eats up valuable seconds as well. Full-time meanwhile at Selhurst Park, Masfarouki.
90 minutes were played, nothing really happened. Really, don't stay up for this one on Match of the Day. Full-time Palace 0, Fulham 0.
Tell you what, for all the fact they've been down to 10 men, I can't recall Edison being stretched, and that's how well City have protected their goalkeeper.
They've defended really well as changes. He's thought, you know what, we're going to stick that extra defender back. He made the change straight away with Phillips. It's getting a little bit heated here. Anything could happen because Anthony Taylor's lost a little bit of composure, a little bit of control. The two bookings there was just to calm it down because he's under pressure. You can see that. He didn't need to make those two decisions. He could have just let it carry on.
Charlton 3, Wycombe 1 is a latest score in League One. Middlesbrough, incidentally, have beaten Southampton by 2-1. A first win of the season for Michael Carrick and his players, who were bottom of the Championship this morning. To the cricket we go, Nikesh Regani.
Ireland 6 wickets down now. Andy McBride bowled by a beauty from Rehan Ahmed, a googly, just clipping the off stump. He's gone for 4. That target for Ireland 335, but they've now slumped to 137 for 6 in the 24th.
What a save from Edison. Ilanga hit it first time, left side of the penalty area. Corner taken quickly meanwhile. Gibbs-White curls it in. Downward header, blocked by Guardiola. It's going to come out to volley. Steadies himself. Right-footed shot through a crowd of players. Edison again with a save. What a save.
Southampton are not having the best of returns at all into the Championship.
Right down to that left-hand side that's going in the far corner.
Lost again.
Alive. And that long-range effort, volley as it comes out of side. The initial one was off Ilanga, but I've never seen Pep like this. Only several times. He's so irate. But a big save right into Edison, that one from Bolly. And they just delayed it, waited, and killed a little bit more time.
We'll bring you as much reaction as we can in the 5 Live Football Daily podcast, which is available. Let's get an update from Luton. Still playing, John Southall.
97 minutes played. Luton 1, Wolves 1. Corley Woodrow 10 yards out has just seen a shot blocked, and it's gone behind for a corner kick to Luton. This, I think, will be the last effort of the game. Ryan Giles over on the far side in front of the Kenilworth Road stand will take the corner with his left foot. They'll take their first point as it stands at the moment, Luton, in the Premier League season. Is this the last play? Giles plays it to the near post, clear to the edge of the area, and Wolves will get rid of this one. Luton 1, Wolves 1.
Northampton have got a goal back. Northampton 1, Barnsley 2, Dundee 2, Kilmarnock 2. Dundee, remember, down to 10 men. Ball played in towards Mangala, edge of the area, cleared by Diaz. And it is, that's up to date. There's no other goal. Oh, no. Grimsby 2, Crawley 3 is a latest score in League 2. Ball played forward. Wood makes the run. Left-hand side of the penalty area. By my watch, we have just over 60 seconds remaining. Claimed by Edison. What a clean sheet this is going to be for Manchester City, the champions. An update in the golf now, Ian Carter.
First point of the afternoon goes to Europe. Charlie Hull and Leona Maguire beat Nelly Corder and Ali Ewing 4-3. The overall score now, USA 7, Europe 6.
Full time now at Kenilworth Road. John.
It's finished Luton 1, Wolves 1. Pedro Neto with the opening goal for Wolves, and the equaliser from Carlton Morris from the penalty spot. Luton have their first points of the season. Luton 1, Wolves 1.
In about 40 seconds time, we're heading to Lille for the Rugby Union World Cup. England against Chile. Let's just get your closing thoughts, Michael Brown.
Yeah, I just say, even the champions who've got flair, who've got style all around the pitch, have to find different ways of winning games, and they've done that. They've grinded it out.
Yeah, we are. Ipswich, they're flying like at the minute.
Back 5, and that's how you win games.
It was goals from Foden.
There's obviously a long way to go yet.
But Rodri is made for an entertaining and interesting second half after his sending off.
It's incredible, really, Ipswich, considering they've just come up.
Between England and Chile, we're going there very, very soon. Rotherham, Preston, Katie Smith.
It's Rotherham 1, Preston North End 1. So Preston off the top of the table, pushed down to third. Their winning run is over as well. Rotherham 1, Preston 1.
And Leeds is full time. They've got a good result against Watford.
Live sport on BBC Radio 5 Live. The full-time whistle has sounded. Still words are being sent here at the Etihad. Guardiola's on the pitch making sure that nothing escalates.
So there we go. That's the match finished at Man City. So there we go. I will end this broadcast now, and I'll be doing the classified football results very, very soon. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you